There was a beautiful rain just before Mass, and naturally, as you all know, we could use the rain. The rain coupled with lightning, I would say if you were standing inside of a cornfield, you could probably hear the corn grow. You know, they say that if you want to see what God looks like, all you have to do is look at his creation. An architect always leaves an imprint of who he is and what he creates. It was on Tuesday this week, I decided to take my pedal bike that has electric to it. I took it on one of my favorite bike trails, the trail that maybe some of you have been on it, the trail that goes from Export to Trafford. It's only a 2% grade downhill and away from Export to Trafford. Way back, it's a 2% grade uphill. Nice thing about my bike, it has electric on it, so I pedal on the way down and I use electric to get back. But I was halfway down the trail and I noticed this park bench, and the park bench was nestled into the weeds, and I decided to put my kickstand down and just enjoy the park bench and look around. So I'm enjoying looking around at nature, and it was just one of the most enjoyable, I spent about an hour there, one of the most enjoyable hours. And I could hear God saying to me, Kenny, you got to do this more often. Sometimes what we should do is this. Now, what I'm holding in my hand is what? A stop sign. And what I'm holding in my hand, these are what? Flowers, and more specifically, they're roses. So when you put these two together, it comes out to a sentence that says what? Stop and smell the roses. I'm sitting on that park bench, and I thought to myself, I'm looking around at nature. I could see God in nature, and I thought to myself, I should do this more often. Instead of just flying through summer, not taking the time to look at the vegetation, just look at nature. So I could see God and feel God and enjoy those special moments that are free. So I'm sitting on this park bench. And right opposite me, about 4 feet away, there is a spider, a little spider, about the size of a quarter. Now, most of my life, I've been deathly afraid of spiders. I was surprised that I didn't want to run away. But I'm watching this spider. Now, spiders have 8 legs. And this spider is building an orb web. Now, you know, there's the funnel web that a spider builds in your shrubs. And usually you'll see a lot of those in the month of September and October, especially when a dew lands on it early in the morning. But the orb web is a circular web, and a circular orb web has 8 anchors. So he ties off in 8 spots, just to match the amount of legs that he has. Now, watching this spider build this orb web, and it's a miracle what he did. He's working feverishly. He's building this incredible web, and he's just a little guy the size of a quarter, and I'm wondering, where's he getting all that web material? I mean, he didn't quit to go to the store to get some more webbing and come back over and continue to build this web. It's just coming right out of him. He didn't eat anything, he didn't drink anything, but they're building this web, and the webbing's coming out of him. And it took him about 20 minutes to get that beautiful web built, and when he did, he was right there in the center. And I looked at the web, and I got a little closer. I didn't want to touch it because he put so much time and effort into building this web. It was magnificent. Without the use of a ruler, a protractor, micrometer, he didn't have any instruments. And every one of the circles was absolutely perfect distance from the one before it and one above it. Without the use of any type of technology, he built a massive full web. And I thought to myself, we've come a long way as human beings. We could get to the moon and back, and we can accomplish so much, but we will never master nature. And we can never say we're equal to God until we can build a spider web, just like a spider does. Now, we can make a spider web on paper, on our computer, and look just as good as a spider's web. But until we can actually build the spider web using the same webbing material without the use of any computer, any technology, and make it the masterpiece a spider does, then we really haven't advanced that far. Then I'm sitting there after he got that spider web built, and I kept looking over to make sure he stayed in the center. And then I noticed right to the right side of the bench were a big pile of daisy bushes. And I thought to myself, I really haven't seen daisies in a long time. You know, it's that beautiful white flower, has a lot of petals with a little yellow inside. And I was just thinking about the daisies, and I was thinking back to junior high. I remember junior high specifically, there was this gal. Her family moved from Penn Hills to our school district, and she was really cute. And And for some reason, I conjured up this idea that she liked me. So it was all fantasy land in my mind. And I was always told if you want to affirm that, whether or not someone likes you or loves you, you got to get a daisy and you pick off the little petals. So you would say, she loves me not, she loves me not. So I'm trying to determine whether or not my fantasy is correct because I think she loves me. And so I get this daisy in junior high. I'm picking off the petals, and the last petal said, she loves me not. And I thought to myself, that's a bad daisy. That's the wrong daisy. So then I get another daisy, and she loves me not. And the last petal said, she loves me. And I was so afraid about that, I decided I never spoke to her the whole entire year. Because I didn't know what to do about it. It's been confirmed. She loves me. I don't know what to do. So I made sure I would avoid her. Maybe that's why I became a priest. I just fear. Maybe it was fear. Maybe not a call. Maybe just out of sheer fear. And I'm sitting there, and I brought an orange with me. So I'm having this orange as I'm watching the little spider build his web. I'm thinking about the daisy. And I had enjoyed my orange, and I had everything on a little napkin so I could pick it up when it was time to leave and dispose of it properly. What I didn't realize, apparently I dropped a little bit of the orange rind itself. It apparently fell on the ground. I didn't see it fall on the ground. So I'm sitting there, and I look down, and I see about an inch of my peel, orange peel, moving across the ground. That's amazing. It's moving across the ground, but I can't figure out how is it, somehow it's moving across the ground. So I bent down to see what was going on. And there's this little brown ant. You know those little brown ants? There's this little brown ant. He's got this about an inch of orange peel. It's about an inch by an inch. And he's walking across the path with his orange peel in his mouth. And I'm looking around, I'm thinking to myself, little ant, if you could tell me where you're going, I'll pick up the orange peel for you, and I'll take it there. It'd be a lot less work for you. Just show me which one of these cracks is the crack to your house, and I'll take the peel for you. I'm watching this little ant, and he's really serious. He's working really hard. And I remember something I read about ants, and this is true for all ants. Fire ants, black ants, these little brown ants. An ant can carry 100 times its own weight. Isn't that impressive? Most human beings cannot lift or carry their own weight. An ant can carry 100 times its own weight. That's why he was able to move that orange peel. Now just think about it. Think about it. Think about the fact if you were able to carry 100 times your own weight, you know what that would mean? That would mean the next time your car runs out of gas, you simply pick it up and walk it to a gas station. You see cars being walked by human beings up and down Route 56. Well, that's what it means. And after I saw him, he got to the other side. I don't know where he went with that orange peel, but hopefully it fit through the crack of his home or wherever he was headed. And that spider remained in that web. And those daisies were just sitting there beautifully waiting for some young man to pick one out and try to figure out whether or not his fantasy would be true. Some girl he's looking at would love him or love him not. And I thought to myself as I got up to get back on my bike to continue on, how important it is in life, sometimes in life, just to stop and smell the roses. You know, summertime is very special. I personally love all four seasons that we here in southwestern Pennsylvania because they owe their own beautiful flavor to them, so they're all a lot of fun. But summertime, the lush vegetation, the gardens, the growth of tomato plants and peppers, they're fun to watch those things grow. And maybe what God is saying to all of us tonight, and if you haven't taken the time to do this, maybe you owe it to yourself. It's a great gift. It was one of the most enjoyable hours because I thought of nothing. Nothing was on my mind. I had no worry, no pain, no struggle, nothing. I wasn't thinking of a thing as watching that spider build that orb web, looking at those daisies, watching an ant move that orange rind. I wasn't thinking of a thing except I was thinking about how did God create those things? They're masterful. The daisy looks exactly now as it did back when I was a young man. It's never changed in beauty. It's the exact same daisy. So maybe what you want to do, and if you haven't done it yet, tomorrow morning after this rain is definitely the lightning, because lightning is essential for greenery. That puts the nitrogen back in the soil. That is such a very important part of the growth process. Maybe what you want to do, maybe even tonight or definitely tomorrow morning if the sun's shining, even if it isn't, just maybe stop and smell the roses, walk in your yard, look at the tree, check out the little bugs, look at a little ant, look at a little spider building his little house, watch the little birds and say, now I know what God looks like. Because the architect always leaves an imprint of who he is and what he creates. Enjoy the gift of nature. It is free. It's for us to enjoy. And you'll feel close to God. You'll see God. And maybe it's just that simple. Every so often, it's imperative to stop and smell the roses.